As you might guess, all this business stuff that I talk about on the channel can get a little bit boring, uh, if you go at it too long. So, without any delay, it's music time. And so, what I'm gonna be doing here today is I'm just gonna show off just a little guitar exercise that I learned from Doug Marks from Metal Method. It's part of the guitar course that I've been taking for a long time. His Metal Method course, and so that's something that I'm gonna be kind of showing, and then I'm actually gonna review. I'm actually gonna give the top 10 guitarists of all time ranking at the end. So I'm gonna review who are the top 10 greatest guitar players of all time, according to me. So obviously, this is a very subjective, hopefully not controversial, but I understand it's a very subjective ranking, because how are you gonna be able to rank guitar players, get the top 10? That's hard to do. So anyhow, time for the jam exercise without any delay. And there you have it. I think I actually played it a little bit faster than the official speed, but that's all right. You can go a little bit faster, or you can go a little bit slower, like kind of like this. Now, a quick note on playing fast and slow. One of my guitar instructors that I follow, and I actually am taking another one of his courses, is the great guitar player Michelangelo Batio, who, not surprisingly, is gonna feature in my list of top 10 guitar players of all time. But he actually says you should practice playing stuff slow, nail it slow, and then you can take it fast. You can go as fast as you want. But if you just practice everything super fast, and then for some reason you're not able to play it clean, like you're playing super dirty, like you're not smooth, then it becomes hard to play fast, clean, because you're practicing everything sloppy, and so it doesn't really help you that much. But if you perfect it slow and then you take it fast, once you nail it, that's a good formula. So yeah, that's something I think I appreciate, because I really like clean guitar playing. Like I really don't. That's why it was a lot harder for me to get into certain guitar players, like Jimi Hendrix, or if you listen to a lot of live Jimmy Page stuff, a lot of it was a little bit, not as studio perfect as I would have appreciated or liked, and so it's been harder for me to actually listen to those kinds of guitar players, um, which is funny, because I guess in my ranking there's a bias against kind of dirty guitar players. It's kind of more players that play really note for note, clean, even if they're playing fast, like Michelangelo Batio. So, without any delay, let's get into the awaited best guitar players of all time ranking. This is gonna be, as I said, very subjective, hopefully not controversial. Um, and the list has changed over the years, obviously. If you'd asked me this question 10 years ago or 5 years ago, the list would have been probably a lot different, especially 10 years ago. 5 years ago, I think the list had kind of stabilized, and I kind of know which guitar players I really admire. So at number 10, we got Joe Don Rooney. He's a country guitar player for Rascal Flatts. Great, amazing guitar player. Really love Joe Don Rooney. He's an unbelievable guitar player. So he's in 10th place, kind of like the Nashville sound that I really, really love. Um, Also, a little bit of banjo playing, but I think he doesn't actually play actual banjo. Kind of plays this guitar banjo that's like a guitar, you know, kind of modeled to be as banjo-like as possible, but not really a banjo. It's still a guitar. So it's called like the banjo guitar or guitar banjo, something like that. So that's number 10. You can go check out Rascal Flatts if you want a taste of Joe Don Rooney. And then number 9, a real legend in guitar circles. And so, you know, he makes number 9, David Gilmour of Pink Floyd. Another amazing guitar player, really famous with his bands, you know, stuff like that. Unbelievable, phenomenal guitar player. Really plays a lot of melodic stuff, a lot of kind of not as fast as some other guys, but I wouldn't characterize him as like completely slow. Like some of his stuff is actually fast if you if you're playing along, you know. Uh, David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, a great band. So he's in position number 9. And let's go to number 8. So who do we have in number 8? How come now we haven't had any metal players? We've had some country player, country rock. We've had psychedelic rock, pop rock. Where are the metal players? I thought you said you wanna rock some crazy metal guitar riffs and stuff. I thought that's what you said. um, Definitely, I'm influenced by a lot of metal players, and so without a doubt, in number 8 we have our first metal player, Wolf Hoffman of Accept, German metal band Accept, and we got Wolf Hoffman, unbelievable guitar player. You can check out some of Accept's music just to get a sense of his guitar runs. He's got a lot of cool riffs and stuff like that. Not always as melodic as guys like Joe Don Rooney or David Gilmour. And so, you know, some of the songs I don't like that much. But when they get a good groove and, you know, and things like that, it's really good. Heavy metal, really nice, really great stuff. So we got Wolf Hoffman in number 8, and then in number 7 we got a real neoclassical shredder, and you know, I think that kind of takes the mystery out of the thing entirely. So in number 7 we got Yngwie Malmsteen. Yngwie is a Swedish guitar player, but he's classified as a neoclassical shredder. He kind of invented the neoclassical shred genre, which kind of pulls in influences from the likes of Beethoven and Mozart, people like that, and puts that on the guitar. Things like that, you know. He's super fast, but he's an incredible classically influenced guitar player. So they class him as a neoclassical metal, neoclassical shred. Unbelievable guitar player. And so he's in number 7. Number 6, we got an unbelievable, one of the legends, one of the real legends of modern guitar playing. And this actually dips us into a different genre than all the other guys I've mentioned up above, and as you can notice, all these other guys pretty much are different genres, and this guy is no exception, a completely different genre from all the above. And of course, I'm talking about the blues. And I'm talking about Joe Bonamassa, American legendary blues rock player, modern blues, Joe Bonamassa. I mean, he's definitely a head-turning guitarist. Like, you listen to Joe Bonamassa, and the sound kind of sticks with you. You know, it's hard to forget that kind of guitar player. A lot of cool bands, a lot of blues type riffs, and guitar runs that are super exciting. Very emotionally charged player, unbelievable. He's played with all the legends like BB King and all those guys. So that's what you get for being a legend. Like, he's really unbelievable. He's one of those guitar players I think I'll be listening to right to my last final days. Like, one of those kind of guitar. I don't think I'll ever fall out of love with that kind of guitar playing. Okay, so now we get to the top 5, man. Congratulations, you made it all the way to the top 5. And no surprise, top 5, I told you about one of the guys I'm personally learning from, just one of his courses, and dubbed as the greatest shredder of all time, and I don't dispute that. I think he is that, the fastest and greatest shredder of all time, Michelangelo Batio. An unbelievably fast guitar player. Like, you watch him play, you listen to him play, you're like, wow, is that even possible? He plays as fast as driving a Lamborghini around a Formula One racetrack. That's literally how fast Michelangelo Batio plays, and I love his playing. He's an unbelievable guitar player. Just to show you what's possible, to push your conceptions and limits of what you think guitar is all about to the next level. That's Michelangelo Batio, man. Now some people say, oh, that stuff ain't melodic. Oh, you guys that like this shred stuff are not melodic. But if you look at my ranking so far, right, we've had some phenomenally melodic players. You kind of need some guys that push the art over beyond the edge, beyond what we all thought was possible, and take it to the next level. And that's what Michelangelo Batio does. And that's what some other guys like Chris Impellitteri, another phenomenal shredder, who I probably had him on my top 10 list at some point. But it's so crowded, right? Guitar is just so crowded. He's probably just outside the top 10. But I could swap him in or out for any of the any of the other guys, and it would still be a great guitar ranking. So check out Chris Impellitteri as well if you want. The best shredders are probably, fastest and greatest shredders are probably Michelangelo Batio, Chris Impellitteri, and then some other guys. But as you know, like, shred is not everything. That's why we've only got one of the top 3 fastest shredders on this top 10 guitar players list, and that's Michelangelo Batio. But I love shred. Shred is super useful. It's unbelievable. I should probably do a ranking of the 10 best just shredders at some point. So let me know in the comments if you want to see that ranking. So that's number 5, Michelangelo Batio. And then, so now we are on to number 4. And no surprise, okay, no surprise, I got another one of my metalheads. And I'm talking about a heavy metal band, Judas Priest, and guitarist KK Downing. unbelievable guitar player. Um, Now, I think you really can't mention KK Downing without talking about Glenn Tipton. He's a partner from Judas Priest. So those two guitar players are both unbelievable. I really like KK Downing. Uh, there's just some things I like about the guy. And I also think that he had a pretty big role, especially early on in Judas Priest. But if you want to get some kind of cool heavy metal riffs and a lot of cool guitar playing stuff, you can spend literally hours listening to Judas Priest. At least I can. So we've got him in number 4. Now, congratulations, you made it all the way to the top 3. That's unbelievable. Okay, so who do you think is in the top 3? Think about all the legendary guitar players in history that we haven't mentioned yet. You got guys like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Slash, Jeff Beck, Felix. Felix should probably be in my top 10, man. Felix is a great guitar player. Now playing with Bon Jovi, Felix is an unbelievable guitar player. One of my favorites. But of course, as I said, this is a very crowded top 10, so we couldn't necessarily fit him in. But on earlier versions of my list, he's been there. And probably when I make this list at different time, he's probably gonna be there because he's just outside the top 10, just like Chris Impellitteri. But my number 3 guitar player is Axel Rudy Pell, an unbelievable metal guitar player. Kind of plays in like hair metal, glam metal, a lot of melodic ballads, a lot of melodic runs with some shred characteristics, and a lot of really cool riffs. It's really hard to find an Axel Rudy Pell song that you're gonna say like this is just awful. So he's an unbelievable songwriter, and that's something that not everybody in this top 10 list is necessarily at the same level at. But when you listen to Axel Rudy Pell, you can just tell like, wow, this guy, he really cares where he puts each note, right? Like you can tell like, wow, this kid is on another level. And then he can actually play that stuff. That's talent right there. So now we are on to the top 2, man. This is unbelievable. So guitar player number 2 greatest guitar player of all time according to me on my ranking. And no surprise, now you're seeing the top 5 is being dominated by metal guitar players. It's the same thing for the number 2 spot. It's no surprise. The great legendary player from American glam metal band Dokken. Of course, we're talking about George Lynch, Mr. Scary. George Lynch, man, that's what's up. I watch George Lynch play or listen to him, and he's another one of those head-turning guitar players, and he's just such an impressive guitar player. Like, there are a few guitar players that, like, if they play something, they just make it look really cool and sound really cool and look really virtuosic. And I'm talking about players like Yngwie Malmsteen, whom we covered earlier in the ranking, who appeared earlier in the ranking. He's like that. Another one of those players is, of course, Michelangelo Betti, just because he's the fastest shredder on the planet. Like, he grabs a guitar and he's just playing so fast. Like, it's like, is that even humanly possible? Same thing with George Lynch at number 2 on the greatest guitar players of all time. And why George Lynch just stands out is not only is he fast, but he can blow any guitar player out of the water on any day. In fact, he can blow all the guitar players combined out of the water on any day. When he really starts playing, he's a really powerful guitar player. He plays these really powerful passages that really just blow you right out of the water. You're like, I've lost my breath. I don't even know if I'm still alive. Like, what century is this? Like, what guitar player just happened? you know. So it's not just shred. It's the the melodic feel, but it's more than that. It's the power behind the passages and everything that's happening. He's able to tell a really unique, powerful story out of his guitar playing. Like just an all-out accomplished guitar player who really knows, like, he sets up what's gonna happen later by what he does earlier in the song, and no note is wasted. His playing is about as close to perfection as you can get, guys. Like, when you listen to George Lynch play, that's about as close to guitar perfection as you're gonna get. And so at number one on the list is a player that, if we describe George Lynch in those terms, then it probably should just make sense to you guys. This kind of metal player that we're now gonna talk about. The attributes are just so similar, although slightly different style. And he's got a lot of blues in him, a lot of blues stuff. But an all-out accomplished songwriter, just insane guitar player. Just legendary, completely legendary guitar player, and has been a massive influence on a lot of the guitar players that we consider to be elite today. They really look back to this guy, and I'm talking, of course, about the Irish great guitar player, blues, rock, metal guitar player, the legend, Gary Moore. Just one of his famous riffs, blues riffs, actually. So it's not all about speed, it's also about feel and emotion. But Gary shreds like a monster. He can shred as fast as any of them, and he can play as powerful as any of them. In fact, he's a trailblazer in that, and an unbelievable songwriter. Like, you listen to him in metal, hard rock, and in the blues, and it's just unbelievable. Like, he's been through virtually all those genres, and broken new ground in each of them. And like I said about George Lynch, it takes an unbelievable guitar player to be able to do those kinds of things. These are the players that no note goes wasted. It's all driving some story, some grand epic opera, some grand fiction, some grand tale that just has the audience mesmerized and captivated, and you're on the edge of your seat, literally just watching every note as the maestros are playing and laying down this stuff. And I don't know if the guitar playing of these, especially those top 2, top 3 guys, is gonna be matched in our lifetimes. But definitely the guitar playing of these top 10 combined is gonna be hard to match for any guitar player in our in our lives. So there you have it, guys, and we're now at the end of the guitar ranking. Now, if you are looking to, if you're much more interested in the business side, of course, growing your own business, Then I have some free resources. The links will be in the description.